In Acts 15, what specific issue regarding Gentile converts caused the Jerusalem Council to convene, prompting a significant decision on the relationship between Jewish and Gentile believers in the early church? A. Circumcision and adherence to Mosaic law. B. The inclusion of women in leadership roles. C. The use of pagan imagery in worship. The correct answer is circumcision and adherence to Mosaic law. During Paul's missionary journeys, which city, described in Acts as a center of significant opposition and persecution, is notably associated with the stoning of Stephen and the subsequent scattering of the early church? A. Antioch. B. Jerusalem. C. Philippi. The correct answer is Jerusalem. Acts details the conversion of a Roman centurion named Cornelius. What is the significance of this event in the early development of the Christian church? A. It demonstrated God's acceptance of Gentiles without requiring Jewish conversion. B. It marked the beginning of Paul's missionary work among the Gentiles. C. It solidified the authority of Peter as the supreme leader of the church. The correct answer is, it demonstrated God's acceptance of Gentiles without requiring Jewish conversion. What specific geographical location, mentioned in Acts, played a crucial role in Paul's missionary endeavors and subsequent imprisonment, representing a key link between the east and west of the Roman Empire? A. Alexandria. B. Rome. C. Ephesus. The correct answer is Rome. In Acts, what was the primary theological dispute between Paul and certain Jewish Christians in Antioch, as discussed in Galatians and implied in Acts? A. The nature of Christ's divinity. B. The legitimacy of Paul's apostleship. C. The necessity of Gentile circumcision. The correct answer is the necessity of Gentile circumcision. Which prominent figure in Acts, known for his role in the early church in Jerusalem and mentioned extensively in Acts, was later chosen to replace Judas Iscariot as one of the 12 apostles? A. Matthias. B. Barnabas. C. Stephen. The correct answer is Matthias. Acts highlights several instances of miraculous healings and signs. Which specific event dramatically impacted the acceptance of Christianity in the city of Lystra, despite later persecution? A. The raising of Tabitha, Dorcas. B. The healing of the lame man at the temple gate. C. The healing of Paul and Barnabas after being stoned. The correct answer is the healing of the lame man at the temple gate. What was the primary mode of transportation used by Paul and his companions during their extensive missionary journeys as described in Acts? A. Ships and carriages. B. Ships and donkeys, walking. C. Donkeys and camels. The correct answer is ships and donkeys, walking. Identify the key individual in Acts who played a significant role in supporting Paul's missionary activities, particularly in Antioch, and later partnered with him on missionary journeys? A. Silas. B. Luke. C. Barnabas. The correct answer is Barnabas. What specific event, mentioned in Acts, involved a dramatic escape from prison, showcasing divine intervention and highlighting Paul's perseverance despite severe opposition? A. Escape from the Philippian jail. B. Escape from Jerusalem before the stoning of Stephen. C. Escape from prison in Caesarea. The correct answer is escape from the Philippian jail. What significant event marks the beginning of the book of Acts, as described by Luke? A. The ascension of Jesus. B. The Pentecost event. C. Paul's conversion on the road to Damascus. The correct answer is the ascension of Jesus. Which speech, delivered by Peter on Pentecost, is considered pivotal in the early church's expansion? A. Sermon on the Mount. B. The Areopagus speech. C. Pentecost sermon. The correct answer is Pentecost sermon. What miracle, performed by Peter and John, led to the arrest and questioning of the apostles? A. Raising of Lazarus. B. Healing of the lame man at the temple gate. C. Feeding of the 5,000. The correct answer is healing of the lame man at the temple gate. Who was the Roman official who became a believer after being miraculously healed by Paul? A. Felix. B. Festus. C. Cornelius. The correct answer is Cornelius. In what city did Paul deliver his famous speech on Mars Hill, addressing the Athenian philosophers? A. Rome. B. Jerusalem. C. Athens. The correct answer is Athens. What significant disagreement arose within the early church concerning the necessity of following Jewish law for Gentile converts? A. The Jerusalem Council. B. The Antioch Dispute. C. The Galatian Controversy. The correct answer is the Jerusalem Council. Which apostle was instrumental in the conversion of the Ethiopian eunuch? A. Peter. B. Paul. C. Philip. The correct answer is Philip. What geographical area is considered the primary focus of Paul's missionary journeys as depicted in Acts? A. North Africa. B. Asia Minor. C. Greece. The correct answer is Asia Minor. In which Roman province did Paul spend a significant amount of time in prison, ultimately appealing to Caesar? A. Judea. B. Galatia. C. Rome. The correct answer is Rome. What is a key theme that Luke emphasizes throughout the book of Acts concerning the spread of Christianity? A. Military conquest. B. Gradual assimilation. C. Persecution and resilience. The correct answer is persecution and resilience. What pivotal event marks the beginning of the Church's mission in Acts, signifying the empowerment of the Holy Spirit? A. The Ascension of Jesus. B. The Last Supper. C. The Day of Pentecost. The correct answer is the Day of Pentecost. Which theological theme is most central to Luke's narrative in Acts? A. The importance of personal piety. B. The sovereignty of God in salvation. C. The necessity of good works. The correct answer is the sovereignty of God in salvation. What significant challenge to the early church's unity is addressed in Acts, impacting Jewish-Gentile relations? A. Internal disputes over leadership. B. Persecution by the Roman authorities. C. The issue of Gentile circumcision. The correct answer is the issue of Gentile circumcision. In Acts, what is the primary method used by the apostles to spread the gospel throughout the Roman Empire? A. Military conquest. B. Establishment of trade networks. C. Missionary journeys and preaching. The correct answer is missionary journeys and preaching. What specific literary device is frequently employed by Luke in Acts to highlight the universality of the gospel's message? A. Use of dramatic irony. B. Extensive use of parables. C. Detailed geographic descriptions. The correct answer is detailed geographic descriptions. Which Roman official plays a significant role in Paul's legal trials, depicted in Acts? A. Pontius Pilate. B. Felix. C. Nero. The correct answer is Felix. How does the Holy Spirit's presence manifest itself in the early church according to Acts? A. Miraculous healings and speaking in tongues. B. Dreams and visions only. C. Strict adherence to Jewish law. The correct answer is miraculous healings and speaking in tongues. What significant geographic location serves as a strategic hub for the expansion of Christianity in Acts? A. Jerusalem. B. Rome. C. Antioch. The correct answer is Antioch. Which aspect of Paul's ministry is prominently featured in Acts, demonstrating his commitment to the gospel? A. His emphasis on wealth accumulation. B. His willingness to endure suffering. C. His focus on building temples. The correct answer is his willingness to endure suffering. The historical accuracy of Acts is supported by which of the following? A. Archaeological discoveries confirming places and people mentioned. B. Internal consistency with other New Testament books. C. Both A and B. The correct answer is both A and B. Which council, though not explicitly mentioned in Acts, significantly shaped early church governance and addressed issues like circumcision and Gentile inclusion, laying groundwork for later conciliar decisions? A. Council of Nicaea. B. Council of Jerusalem, implicitly referenced. C. Council of Chalcedon. The correct answer is Council of Jerusalem, implicitly referenced. The incident with Elymas the sorcerer in Acts 13 highlights a key aspect of Paul's missionary approach. What crucial element of his strategy does this episode best exemplify? A. Emphasis on Jewish synagogues first. B. Use of miracles as confirmation of the gospel. C. Focus on establishing strong church leadership. The correct answer is use of miracles as confirmation of the gospel. Paul's journey to Rome, described in Acts 27-28, demonstrates his resilience and resourcefulness. What specific challenge presented the most significant threat to the survival of the passengers? A. Mutiny among the sailors. B. Violent storms and shipwreck. C. Disease outbreak amongst the prisoners. The correct answer is violent storms and shipwreck. The relationship between Peter and Paul, though complex, is crucial to understanding early church leadership. What specific event best illustrates a potential tension between their respective apostolic authority and approaches? A. The Council of Jerusalem. B. Peter's vision in Joppa. C. Paul's rebuke of Peter in Galatia, implied in Acts and Galatians. The correct answer is Paul's rebuke of Peter in Galatia, implied in Acts and Galatians. Acts emphasizes the Holy Spirit's role in the expansion of the early church. Which event most powerfully demonstrates the Spirit's agency in overcoming cultural and linguistic barriers? A. The Pentecost event. B. The conversion of Cornelius. C. The healing of the lame man at the temple gate. The correct answer is the Pentecost event. The early church faced significant persecution. Which Roman official is prominently featured in Acts as an antagonist to the apostles and early Christians? A. Pontius Pilate. B. Felix. C. Festus. The correct answer is Felix. Stephen's martyrdom, detailed in Acts 7, serves as a pivotal moment. What significant theological theme does his speech and death powerfully underscore? A. The importance of Jewish law. B. The universality of God's grace. C. The necessity of martyrdom for salvation. The correct answer is the universality of God's grace. Paul's missionary journeys reveal a strategic approach to evangelism. What factor consistently influenced his choice of destinations and methods? A. Seeking out the wealthiest cities. B. Following established Roman roads. C. Targeting Jewish communities first. The correct answer is targeting Jewish communities first. The account of Ananias and Sapphira in Acts 5 serves as a cautionary tale. What central principle of early church life does this episode emphasize? A. The importance of community service. B. The dangers of hypocrisy and deception. C. The power of prayer and miracles. The correct answer is the dangers of hypocrisy and deception. What significant cultural context in the Roman Empire heavily influenced the spread and persecution of early Christianity, as depicted in Acts? A. The widespread practice of pagan cults. B. The rise of Stoic philosophy. C. The Roman emphasis on emperor worship. The correct answer is the Roman emphasis on emperor worship. In Luke Acts, the repeated emphasis on eyewitness testimony and verifiable details aligns most closely with which ancient historiographical approach? A. Skeptical historiography focusing on verifiable evidence. B. Augustinian historiography emphasizing divine providence. C. Annalistic historiography focused on chronological accuracy. The correct answer is skeptical historiography focusing on verifiable evidence. How does Luke's portrayal of the Holy Spirit's role in Acts differ significantly from the emphasis in the Gospel of Luke? A. Acts emphasizes the Spirit's empowering for mission, while Luke's Gospel focuses on the Spirit's role in Jesus' ministry. B. Both texts equally emphasize the Spirit's miraculous gifts. C. Acts downplays the Spirit's role in comparison to the Gospel of Luke. The correct answer is Acts emphasizes the Spirit's empowering for mission, while Luke's Gospel focuses on the Spirit's role in Jesus' ministry. The Jerusalem Council in Acts 15 primarily addresses which theological debate? A. The nature of Christ's divinity. B. The necessity of circumcision for Gentile converts. C. The authority of the apostles. The correct answer is the necessity of circumcision for Gentile converts. What key leadership qualities are highlighted in Luke's selection and portrayal of key figures like Paul and Barnabas? A. Wealth and social standing. B. Spiritual gifts and missionary zeal. C. Family lineage and political influence. The correct answer is spiritual gifts and missionary zeal. The conflict between Paul and Barnabas in Acts 15 demonstrates what significant challenge in early church planting. A. Disagreements about theological doctrine. B. Personality clashes and differing leadership styles. C. Financial mismanagement. The correct answer is personality clashes and differing leadership styles. Luke's use of speeches in Acts serves primarily which purpose? A. To provide detailed historical accounts of events. B. To express Luke's own theological perspective. C. To convey the message and arguments of key figures. The correct answer is to convey the message and arguments of key figures. How does the narrative structure of Acts contribute to its theological message? A. It undermines the theological argument. B. It has no impact on the theological message. C. It depicts the spread of the gospel from Jerusalem to Rome, mirroring the expansion of God's kingdom. The correct answer is it depicts the spread of the gospel from Jerusalem to Rome, mirroring the expansion of God's kingdom. The inclusion of Roman officials and their actions in Acts highlights what aspect of first-century evangelism? A. The consistent opposition of the Roman Empire to Christianity. B. The complex relationship between the early church and the Roman authorities. C. The lack of engagement between early Christians and Roman society. The correct answer is the complex relationship between the early church and the Roman authorities. Which geographical strategy is most evident in Paul's missionary journeys as depicted in Acts? A. Concentrating ministry in urban centers. B. Focus on rural communities. C. Random, unplanned approach. The correct answer is concentrating ministry in urban centers. The depiction of the early church's internal conflicts in Acts serves what primary purpose? A. To discredit the early church. B. To show the church's flaws and human nature. C. To present a flawless, idyllic picture of the early church. The correct answer is to show the church's flaws and human nature.